YouTube family, what's good, what's good? Hey, before we even kick it off, I'd like for you please to like, share, subscribe, give me a critique, comment, and question. Let's continue the banter and let's make this discussion healthy so we can all learn from one another. Anyway, shooting from the hip. All right, what you're looking at right here is a little grid, right? This is based off of Pascal's wager. And this is loosely discussing not only Pascal's wager, but one of the latest videos I just saw today from one of my new channels that I've subscribed to. And that's the Flat Earth Coffee. That video is going to be down in the description box. If you could do the same, give him a like, share, and subscribe his content because it's phenomenal, clean, concise, and awesome. Either way, he discusses a couple of things, one of which he touches on is basically Pascal's wager. In Pascal's wager, what Pascal discusses, Blaise Pascal, he says that if God exists and you don't believe in him, you stand to lose everything. That's the bottom right, the biggest thing. But if he doesn't exist and you do believe in him, right, you wasted time and effort. But you don't really lose anything except for time and effort here on this earth for whatever the time length that you have here, right? Now, if he doesn't exist and you don't believe in him, you're top right. Your time is spent wisely, doing whatever the hell you want. Whatever, it's Grand Theft Auto for you, right? But if he does exist and you do believe in him, bottom left, eternal salvation. Your 72 virgins, whatever it is you believe in. Now, with that being said, this is why the flat earth is such a debated and hot topic, right? To the flat earther, or those that believe in the flat earth, this is the topic of topics. Because once you get down to the bare metal of it all, right, you see that understanding that what you live on is not what you've been fed this whole time, and all that stuff that they've been telling you is a lie, then you begin to connect the dots and you begin to see that, hey, everything else has been a lie. What else is a lie? You start pulling the sweater apart from the thread, and then you start to see and realize that, hey, that was a lie too. This was a lie too. 9/11, JFK, the USS Maine, so on and so forth. It starts to take you to the dark crevices of this world's history, and especially American history, right? Within the last 45 to 75 years has been bullshit. Total bullshit. You've been totally lied to. It's a scary feeling. And it may hurt a lot of people's feelings, and it may crush and step on a lot of toes, but this is part of getting down to the bare metal, man. I was in the Navy for 23 years, and I understand getting down to bare metal and then having to apply paint. Because the last thing you want to do on a rusty ship is apply paint on top of paint on top of paint on top of paint, because you're not in effect getting down to the bare metal. And then what happens? That part of the ship begins to lose integrity to the point to where it starts to fall apart, right? And then the ship is rendered useless, and then you run the risk of actually putting holes in places where otherwise there should be none, right? Like the hull of the ship. Very, very important. Either way, I digress. Why is the belief in God and not the belief in man important? God says it right here in Corinthians 3:19. The Lord catches the wise in their craftiness, right? The wise, those that claim they know mainstream science and how they love to fool and play with our minds, right? The Lord catches them, but how does he do it? How does he do it? Well, he uses people like you. He uses people like Flat Earth and Coffee. He uses people like Leo, Austin Whitsitt, Jeranism, David Weiss, you name it, Rob Skiba, God rest his soul, right? He uses our own folks. He uses his own creation in catching the wise in their craftiness. Continuing, he uses this French astronomer. Remember this? Remember this sun, right? That's out there blazing bright in the sky, right? And so he uses things like the Georgia Guidestones. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Georgia Guidestones, but they were there at one point, and then this is what happened, right? They were there from the 80s to 2023 summertime, and then they said lightning struck it and brought it down. No, I believe that they were destroyed. They were destroyed because they were starting to get national and garner national attention from all corners of this earth, from everybody. And people were starting to question its construction, because one of the things in the Georgia Guidestones that was there was a hole at a portion of the Georgia Guidestones that gave you access to seeing Polaris every night, not move, stationary. Polaris is the north NPC, right? The Northern Star, the one star that doesn't move, and all the stars around it just basically do a pirouette. And this basically goes to show that the Earth is not going anywhere. It's not moving anywhere. It's not hurtling through space. But they ended up destroying it. And after they destroyed it, like you don't have that reference point anymore. And all you have are basically stories as to what the Georgia Guidestones contained, right? And you could look into what they contained and what it in effect was able to do in having that hole at one point. The wise and their craftiness, and God catching them out there. Their videos, video after video, and I'll probably put them in the description box, of NASA getting caught using green screen, using cables, wires, and harnesses to do their flips in quote-unquote zero-G, right? I continue. So anyway, we continue with, I didn't come across the flat earth until later on, right? But it's not about my journey. It's ultimately about what your journey is. And whether you believe or not, I'm going to keep dropping evidence in the description box. You're going to also have Flat Earth and Coffee's latest in the description box. And also, I'm going to put in there what got me started. The one thing that ultimately put me over the top and got me started to seeing what the constitution of this earth actually is. Right? And what basically put me true north into seeing that, yes, this earth is flat. It is flat. I've been lied to. And it wasn't an easy pill to swallow. It wasn't an easy pill to swallow. And what was even harder was coming out. I know that sounds crazy, but what was harder was coming out and telling people that this earth is not a ball. Man, I tell you, the amount of women, because I'm single, right? The amount of women that did not want to date me after hearing that, I'm telling you, it went through the roof, right? A lot of women just didn't want to talk to me, right? But I'm like, hey, whatever, man. If you don't want to believe that, that's good. That just helped me screen. That just helped me out in the screening process. My brothers ridiculed me. My family ridiculed me. I lost a lot of respect. It is what it is. At one time, people respected me, and then they turn around, they disrespect me. Because I believe that this earth is flat, and it's not a ball. All I could do is present the evidence. That's it. So I'm going to show you what got me started on the journey, along with Flat Earth and Coffee's latest and greatest. Really good channel. If you haven't listened, I highly recommend you subscribe to this man's channel. He's got nothing but the best material I have seen in a long, long time. He's clean cut and clear with what it is he's trying to say and how he got around to seeing the earth as being flat. Either way, YouTube, that's it. That's all I've got. Like I said, be sure to like, share, subscribe. At the end of the day, I wish you nothing but health, wealth, prosperity, longevity, love, joy. And also, if it's good for Solomon and it's good for you and me, man, wisdom, 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 wisdom. Without wisdom, ain't nothing happening. Either way, y'all be encouraged, YouTube. Peace.